Okay, great. My name is Albert, as I go by. The name listed on school is Feng and Chai. So our team is me and Tang Wu. So today we'll be talking about our week's assignment. Yeah, Tang, you mind getting started?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. We were just talking about what we learned, and we have seven, oh, sorry, not seven, six questions to guide us through the conversations. I can start with the first question, and first question is assess the significance of creativity and creative problem solving in business. And what I learned and basically from this class is creativity. I think it's a very important driver of innovation and also increasing efficiency in an organization. And it enables organizations to develop new solutions to difficult challenges and problems, and also it helps people to adapt to changing markets. And that's what I think. And I think you can also talk about what you think about creative in
I think throughout the
business.
class, Professor Hughes emphasized like diversity, inclusion, and also about understanding different kind of background. I think that definitely helps a lot with creativity. In terms of how people work together, this we can talk about it more in the coming session as well. So what's the second part?
Second question, it will be we should talk about why change is both creative and a rational process. So you have two aspects. And I did some research on this. So there's I'm not sure the name is Lewin. Okay.
Right.
He talks about a change model. A change model talks about how change has two aspects, when it's creative and rational. And it's creative, change is creative because we need to think about new possibilities and we need to challenge the old assumptions and also explore innovative solutions to problems. And it's also rational because we need to think about how these new solutions can be implemented and how it fits, like our company's goals and how feasible it is, and can the solutions be supported by data? And that's why it's rational.
Okay. Um, I think for me personally, I think change is inevitable. The America going through a lot of changes, like what Professor Hughes mentioned during our class today. Before women doesn't have a right to vote, and minority can won't be able to work for certain jobs. And what I know about the history in terms of change is actually. I'm glad that like last century Asians and be able to work with African Americans together to provide a lot of different kind of change. And I definitely believe it's a rational process.
Right. That's important. To personally, I think we have this assignment where we talk about changes in our organizations. Do you experience that kind of change at
Yes,
work?
in terms of changing the organization, I actually work as a change management analyst. So my team pretty much in charge of our business change. So that relates to incident management, risk assessment, risk management, adopting new type of software. So in terms of change in the organization, it takes a lot of time working with different type of team that could be coming from across the globe, coming from different countries, for instance, Spain, France, and just working with them, making them understand our priorities are, and learning what the findings are. Then those can implement into change management.
Okay. Very interesting. First, and then the next question is we should talk about the theories of creativity and problem solving and how these two can work in concert. I think we already touched on these topics in the first two questions. We think, innovation and creativity helps create innovative problem-solving solutions, and I think that's why they were together. And theories, I also look online of some of the theories so we can discuss. So there's this called divergent and convergent thinking by a scholar, you mentioned about a scholar named Guilford in 1967. And it says divergent thinking allows for multiple solutions and brainstorming, and convergent thinking evaluates and selects the most effective solution. I think, you can just try to merge two different thinkings in organization where you can have a group of people brainstorm new ideas and also evaluates if this new idea is workable on an organization level. That's one theories I found online. Online. And okay, what's your thoughts?
I think problem solving is definitely tricky. Depends on which organization you're in. So I'm a founder of a AI community here in Boston, where I have more authority, where I get be able to try in charge of different tasks and different projects. Where when I work full time at Schneider Electric, it is a bit hard to adopt new things, provide change management into our teams. Um, I guess just be open-minded and trying to resolve the problem within the organization because a lot of things, there are a lot of different factors you can really control. So based on that, definitely just do your best and work with the team.
Okay,
Yeah.
very practical advice. Okay, so moving to the fourth question, we should talk about the benefits of developing various perspective to problem solving. And I think, having different perspective is definitely essential because we work with so many people from different cultural backgrounds, and we do have our own personal blind spots to issues. So, allowing various perspectives so we can have a more comprehensive approach to certain challenges. And I think maybe, with other people's opinions, we can have a better quality of decision-making process. And everybody can jump in to contribute and actually helps the team to grow together. I think that's what I think about having different perspectives.
Right. For me, I think I'm very fortunate to work with people coming from different countries. So another the community I'm running, I work with another founder who is coming from Germany. And the other organizer could be coming from Africa, like Gambia, or some parts of Asia, South Korea or Japan. So definitely given me a lot of different perspective. Work-wise, I work with people coming from France, Spain, um, here in the States, coming from different ethnicity, coming from different backgrounds. There's a great learning experience and also a great sharing experience as well.
Yeah, I'm just out of curiosity. Have you heard from, your coworkers from other cultures, something that you think, oh, this is very new, this is very surprising that you've never thought of?
I wouldn't say that because I travel a lot and I've been working with people coming from pretty much every part of the world. So I work with people coming from Spain, Italy, France, Germany, Japan, South Korea, Singapore, Hong Kong, China, like everywhere. America, of course, Latin America. So I pretty much work with everybody everywhere. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
haven't got anything that's kind of surprised me.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're already used to different perspectives and you okay, so nothing surprised you at all.
I haven't had anything that surprised me. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. You? Anything that's interesting to you?
I think work-wise, I do have a lot of coworkers from different cultures, but
Right.
mostly I work with my supervisor who are honestly just from America. And I
Right.
think what's happening in our organization is us juniors trying to adapt to American corporate culture instead of making inference. It sounds terrible. But I think it is. But cultural wise, I think I haven't really experienced, having different perspectives at work from just because of different culture, but like personal encounter with my coworkers, they celebrated different, holidays. They invited me to participate, and that's how I learn from, their cultures. But work-wise, I do think we're just still trying to assimilate to American culture instead of providing different perspectives. But I do have clients from different cultures, and sometimes I need to, get in between to coordinate because I have clients from Asian countries.
Yeah.
And right, so my supervisors are Americans, so I need to go in between, to coordinate the differences, right? And most of the time, it's the communication style.
Right.
And what happened is that so I do most of the time business transactions. So a lot of Asian clients will describe their business in a very, I don't think it's an ambiguous way. It's just not clear to my supervisor what they're doing. So my job is to, communicate with the client and communicate with my supervisor to figure out what do you honestly want to say and just make it as simple as possible instead of you using a lot of convoluted, complex language to sugarcoat things. And that's what I do.
Right. Oh, what's your cultural background? We haven't talked about it actually.
I'm Chinese.
Are you Chinese? I'm Taiwanese.
I went to school in Taiwan, so I'm
Oh, you
considered
did? Which
a
school?
one-third Fujian.
Ah, New Taipei City, right? Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. Very,
Consider myself one-third of Taiwanese.
very inconvenient. Well, it's a lot better now. But anyway.
It's a lot better. When I went to school there, we had already had next, subway.
Oh, that's good. That's recent, right? They had it like a few years
Like
ago.
even this is probably 10, more than 10 years ago. It's not
Or more than
even
10 years ago?
10
Man,
years
okay.
ago.
Time flies.
Compliance. Yes. Okay. Moving forward. Next question. The ethical considerations of change management. Okay. So ethical change management, I think we talk about this in class, requires transparency, communication, fairness, and respect for stakeholders who are affected by the change. So a failure to incorporate ethics can lead to loss of trust and employee dissatisfaction. And I think one important thing is I think two important things in ethical consideration is, the first communication. We need to communicate with people who are affected, and also the second part, which I found online, it says is consent. So people should be fully informed before they can make an informed decision, which is also informed consent. And employees are given a chance to participate in the change. If they're not willing to, they can leave. I think what happens in my company, in my law firm, is we went through a merger last year, and I noticed that, some people probably are not satisfied with the outcomes, so they left. I think there's also, right,
Oh,
so I think there's also an organic process because
it is.
everyone was informed of, how are you going to change in the future by merging with another company. If people are not comfortable with the where we're going, they're given a chance to, leave and find better place to work.
Yeah.
Right. So what
Um, for in terms of ethical considerations, I think of change management, I think in terms of a large organization, it sometimes could be challenging. For instance, United States recently abolished anti-money laundering policy. So, I understand it's a, a way to help America to stay ahead, but also there are a lot of ethical concerns as well. And in terms of a private organization like my company that I work for, um, definitely hear a few things here and there about working with the government, how to tackle the issue that could be ethically questionable sometimes, especially in certain countries, that the only way you be able to enter is actually bribery or, essentially just pay the president or something. Yeah, that is definitely interesting topic to talk about.
You say, uh, w were you ever in the situation where it demands bribery in another
Oh, it
country?
never happened to me. I'm just saying some of the case I observed before. Also, when we actually enter in certain countries, the custom will actually ask you for money. I know, like, yeah, I'm not gonna say which countries, but
Okay.
there are certain countries that they're less developed, and they just want some money. Yeah, it happened a
Okay.
lot.
So how do you guys handle this kind of situation?
Uh, Either you pay or you don't get a
Okay.
you don't get a work, right? You don't get a business. So,
Okay.
so yeah.
Okay.
Personally, I never done it, but I heard things. Yeah.
You owe her things. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay, final question is we should talk about the methods of evaluation for producing ideas. So it's basically evaluating if these ideas are practical, innovative, or aligned with our organization goals.
Right.
Right. So also some research I found online. There are common evaluation methods include cost benefit analysis. Was very self-explanatory.
Yeah.
We analyze the costs and then benefits.
Right.
And also one more practical method is to just seek feedback from employees and ask, do you think the changes are effective?
Oh, you're
Right.
asking me?
No, yeah,
Or
talking about the evaluation method, one method is just to get feedback from employees. I
right,
don't
of course.
think
Yeah.
I don't think we ever had that. We do have, I think one time our supervisor trying to manage the workload of each our, attorney, and so they were trying to gather feedbacks from us and ask if do you think you work too much, and they can, work around it. But that's the only time I've experienced having feedbacks from supervisors. Okay, how about you?
Oh, I'm not sure I follow. What do you mean by that?
So the last question is to we should talk about if the organization is making changes and how do
Yeah.
we evaluate? How do we evaluate? And there are different methods to evaluate
Yeah, yeah,
different
that part I understand. I'm
aspects.
just not too sure what your statement is.
So we're talking about different methods. One method is to have feedbacks from the employees.
Mhm.
I don't think our management asks for feedbacks in our company. So just
Right,
wondering if you have any experience.
right. I see.
Yeah. Mm.
For me, evaluation for producing ideas, I think, really depends on which method you're trying to tackle things, and really depends what you're evaluating, right? So if you're evaluating finances, it's about uh your company's core value. So for instance, Amazon is trying to tackle the whole cloud service and also the whole retail industry. So they're doing that very well. So essentially, they're driving down the cost of everything, right? So which that includes labor costs. And in terms of Meta, it's pretty much like trying to be more than just social media company. So they're trying really hard to making VR devices, making AR devices, trying to create a world that's beyond just a real world online. Yeah, which is very interesting.
Okay, so for a company like Meta, how do you think they can evaluate if they have achieved creating like a metaverse? How do you think they can?
They definitely use KPIs and OKR. I think OKR stands for objective, is it key results? Yeah, objective and key results. So they use those to evaluate what they had done before. It didn't do so well, I think like back like that 8, 10 years ago, but they're getting a lot better. They're working with Ray-Ban. Oh,
Oh,
that's not completely related, but I'm just find it funny that my friends who work in Meta, they're all complaining because they make a lot of money, but the company cutting their bonuses. They're all pissed. Everybody's
why is
venting
that?
online right
Oh,
now.
maybe they're also, trying to minimize labor costs. This is one of their new changes implementing the lower labor costs.
That's the pros and cons of working at a technology company, right? So they make a lot of money, but they don't really necessarily pay you well. Well, they do, but
They do.
they don't give you a lot of bonuses, is what I'm saying. That even though you do really well, you get really good like a feedback and evaluation, you do really well, you're A+ and stuff, but they don't really care. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Anyway.
do. I don't personally work in tech. I don't have a lot of friends working in tech also, but I do think the social media are, nowadays focusing on what's happening in technology and the cultural change in these tech companies. I do think so. The most of focus are on those big companies, and so we are naturally following what's going on. Even though I don't work in tech, I know what happens in those companies.
Oh, what kind of lawyer are you? What kind of lawyer working on?
Securities,
Securities, you mean like
stocks.
stocks, right? Okay, that's cool. Do you have finance background?
I don't have finance background. I don't think it's necessary, but it helps if you have
No.
finance and business background. That definitely help you understand what's going on.
Right.
But
Do
it's
you do IPO as well?
I do IPO, mostly IPO, yes.
Okay, cool. All right. I guess
Okay.
that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah.
Did we cover everything?
Yeah, we have all 6 questions answered, and it's also recording.
Okay, good.
That's okay. So I'm gonna probably need you to send the link to me.
Okay. Yeah, I'll send it right after the meeting. Yeah.
Okay, appreciate it.
All
Thank you
right.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Have
Yeah.
a great
Take
weekend.
care. You too.